Hey water signs, welcome back. Welcome if you are new. This will be a reading for my water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I do consider all of these weekly readings to be timeless, so whenever you're guided here, just trust that it is the right time for you. Alright, may these cards represent the highest order of truth and bring clarity. I always like to set the intention that everyone that's meant to be here will find their way here, and there will be some kind of message to uplift, heal, or inspire. Alright, water signs. I'm going to start with 3 cards from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, my water signs this week. Do we have for my water signs? Thank you. All right. On the bottom of the deck, we've got number 9, assessing. So you could be in a place where you're observing. You are kind of just trying to get a good picture or understanding of something. And the first card we got out here is acceptance, number 4. So there could be, and then with these other cards, fear and trust, acceptance. What is this? Acceptance. You could be learning to change, to accept the current situation, which is the first step to change. Just remember, the past doesn't exist, the future hasn't happened, there's only right now. Okay, when we accept where we are and who we are right now, when we examine our lives and engage in some truth-telling, we're often confronted with what really is. And it's a powerful realization, but often we reject the truth if it's too hard to bear, or if we're afraid of accepting something difficult. I feel like each of us at some time has dodged our blind spots and then had the illumination of what actually is eventually confront us. What we do next is crucial. Do we accept exactly where we are, no matter how painful or confronting, or do we retreat back into our illusions and remain stuck or unchanging? And this is about choosing to accept ourselves fully and others fully and in the position that we're in, right? And that enables us to take that next step towards growth, right? When we can plant our feet solidly into the earth and say, yes, here is exactly where I am and I accept this fully, then we can take the next steps, more confidently and honestly and powerfully towards where we now wish to head. So accepting where we are right now in its fullness, right? And that also allows us to accept that there may be some chaos in our change before there's ever full order again. And this can be exciting rather than that feeling that generates fear if we hold our new intentions clearly. Right? And the second card, number 11 speak to spiritual awakenings. It's a master number. The 2 ones come together. So the time for courage is here, water signs. Fear is only useful if it teaches you something. Okay, so now's a good time to examine whether your fears are old or new or useful or unhelpful. Right? Fear blocks flow. If there's one thing that stops people from fulfilling their dreams or from even getting things done that they want, it's fear. And experiencing fear is built in. It's a chemical part of the way our brain works to protect us. But emotions such as fear cause the production of a whole raft of body chemicals that give us the best chance of coping with our situations that need our attention to survive. And there's the healthy kind of fear, the fear that warns us to like keep out of a dangerous situation or stay clear of like someone who instinctively makes us kind of weary. However, it would be a rare person who does not have at least one fear that does not serve them, right? A fear that's unrealistic or untrue, or perhaps based on an outmoded experience, or something that's buried so deeply that we only see the symptoms rather than the fear itself. And most fears have been formed with the positive intent of protection. We need to separate that intention out and deal with it in a more resourceful and less destructive way if we're to create ease and flow in our lives. And fear has many names, right? Covert ones are envy and jealousy and codependence and procrastination and bullying and people pleasing, disconnection. And then the more overt ones are avoidance, fear of failure, fear of success. There is, however, a kind of antidote to fear, and it's courage. Right? Fear will put up an initial resistance to courage, but it has no like long-term power against it. And while we can be fearful and courageous at the same time, and I think courage contains a mighty dose of fear, we can choose to face that fear and flow through it until we fear less and then eventually become fearless. And the process isn't always graceful, it isn't always impressive, because it might be slow and deliberate, the steps we take. And taking these steps isn't always easy, and that's an understatement, right? It isn't always apparent to others, so it should be about us measuring how far we've come and not worrying about what anyone else thinks, okay? Comparison is useless. Courage is powerful no matter what form it takes. And it looks like there's this, I love the imagery on this deck. It looks like there was this cage and she's let all of these fears out, and there's this light that's growing within, but you know, until you give that light of courage and trust more power, the fears will, you know, until you put the fears back in the cage and let the light shine through, you know, there's going to be chaos. And then we have number 32, which breaks down to a 5. 5 represents change, transformation, the metamorphosis process, trust. And again, this imagery is just so beautiful. It you know, she's now in this egg and birthing something new, right? Eggs symbolize new ideas, something new being birthed. And when you can trust where you are, that can alleviate fear in itself. This is about trusting yourself, though, right? Develop self-trust and joy will follow. You can rely, water signs, on your own capabilities. Okay, begin to plan carefully for the future. You know, apart from trust, we might develop spiritually with our higher power. Self-trust is the basis of all other trust, right? Self-trust is a surety that we can rely upon ourselves, that our decisions are valid, that we ourselves matter, that knowing ourselves combined with trusting ourselves leads to better, more informed decisions about all aspects of our life, including career and relationships. And self-trust is more than a flashy show of confidence. It's deeper and further reaching than that. It's security at the very core. And no matter what, our wisdom matters and it's best. It allows for flow and for faith in oneself in the way that you do things moving forward and choosing in the world, right? Self-trust is full of acceptance of self. And as accepting oneself becomes easier, then the self-trust will begin to shine. And this gives momentum to anything that we choose to do. Our ancestors saw spring as the great thawing or a new beginning. They would walk the marshes and plains and find newly laid eggs. And more than just a symbol of fertility and new hope, the eggs meant that the worst of the cold was over and that new life was really here. And the egg moon was a time of celebrating and rejoicing. I do want to get an archetype out here. It's really calling for you guys. Ooh, we got the 1. Again, the self, right? Reminder of the power of self and self-trust. And then we got the mirror. So what do you see when you look at yourself? Can you see the source within? Can you see how what you see in the mirror you project out to others and they see that same thing as well? I want to get some, we're going to go on deeper on this mirror first of all, and then I'll get some cards to clarify this. What is this mirror? What is this mirror energy from my water signs? TikTok. Interesting. So it may be time to change your reflection. Wow. We got truth be told and flexible. So there are doors that are opening here. This feels like a portal of re-examination, of being open, of trusting in the universe, trusting in yourself, trusting and knowing that you are a divine co-creator, that you are a piece of the one source energy. And that's the truth. That's the big truth here, is that we are all pieces of the one creator. What is this be flexible energy? I'm going to go with vice versa. What is this flexible energy? Yeah, I think it's just saying like be open for new experiences, like there's been this closed off, the 4 of Pentacles in reverse sort of energy. Maybe you like dismissed certain aspects that or possibilities or perspectives that that could actually be true if you gave them more energy, such as thinking that you're not good enough, or self-doubt, any of these lower vibrations. The 3 of Cups has been coming out a lot lately. This reminds us that we're not alone, that we do have support here. You do have an entourage of angels and energies, ancestors that are supporting you. But you have to be open for new ways. You have to be open for new ideas, new perspectives. And you can simply just, you know, command it. Affirm it, I should say. I'm open for new experiences. Even though I might have been hurt in the past, what is it that you're choosing to focus on? Because there are things growing behind your back. Whether you see them or not is the thing, though. Whether you choose to look at them or you choose to look at, you know, the more negative is completely up to you. But this is saying, like, the universe does have your back. There is peace to be found here. There is joy to be found here. So just be careful, you know, about locking yourself into any one perspective or any one, you know, idea. And be open for the abundance that the universe has for you. The wind is at your back. It's an exciting time to be alive, right? We're realizing, you know, the power that we have and the power that our emotions hold. And we are supported here. The 7 is giving, like, the 7 means chakras, energy centers. Some of you guys may want to do some energy healing work. Let's look at this acceptance. What is this acceptance for my water signs? There could have been in the past some abandonment type shit, some fears, some worries, some anxieties, feeling kind of left out in the cold in the past. So this acceptance could be, about letting that go. Not expecting that again, because our expectations are very powerful. Right? And if we're giving energy to expecting that abandonment to happen again, you know, then we're giving momentum to that energy. And this is saying, look, let it go. You know, you learned from those experiences and you grew from those experiences. Stop giving them momentum to happen again. As long as you learn from the experience, you can move forward. But if you stay locked in and you don't look at the lesson and you know, you continue to relive some of those past experiences, then you're only magnetizing more of those experiences into you. Okay, so be careful with your fears. Let's look at this fear. What is this fear? I think we just pretty much covered it, but let's see. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Afraid that something won't work, or afraid you're not going to win, but that's just false evidence appearing real. Okay, you can have whatever you like, whatever you give power to, whatever you give energy and momentum to. The wind is at your back. But the thing is, the universe doesn't differentiate between if you like something or not. It gives you what you give energy to. It gives you what you give focus to. What is this? Trust. Yeah, there's beautiful, I feel like this is beautiful relationships, offers of love, of peace, new wisdom, new understandings. You could like link up with someone, or it doesn't have to be romantic, it could be that teaches you some things or shows you a new way. Yeah, I feel like some of you guys could be holding on to some old relationships in which they weren't maybe very giving. They didn't give back in the way that, you know, you needed. Or this could also be some limiting thoughts, some lack mindsets, some greed even, or just the Force of Pentacles always reminds me of like somebody just being too closed off, and it's usually on account of these past experiences where maybe somebody did you dirty, or somebody, You know what I mean? They did you wrong, stabbed you in the back in some way, and so then you close down. But when you close down, what happens is you stop your flow of abundance from coming in, right? It's because it's the laws of the universe. It's give and exchange, cause and effect. It's what you put out, you get back, right? So if you're scared to give in some way, or you know what I mean, or if you close off in some way, then you're closing off to that coming back to you. Other messages. We got the Queen of Wands here. This is a feminine energy that is full of growth and confidence and fire and passion and energy, loyalty even, positivity, growth, movement forward. There's that iguana. And this again, I mentioned this dream yesterday in my live, but I just want to touch on it again because it feels significant. Because in the past I actually had a meditation where I saw an iguana sitting in a bowl of water, just staring at me, just observing me. And then not last night but the night before, I had this dream where there was this snake. And a snake, for those that don't know, symbolizes wisdom, right? Understanding. Well, I was afraid of the snake in the dream. I thought it was going to, I shouldn't say I was afraid of it, because I kept grabbing it by its mouth so it wouldn't bite me, but I thought it was poisonous. I thought it was going to hurt me, right? And this kind of reminds me of the old Adam and Eve, right? Where, you know, they've taken a lot of the symbols of the actual light, because the snake is actually Kundalini energy. It's our wisdom, right? And so this snake, I kept grabbing it by its mouth and then trying to let it go so that it wouldn't bite me, and it kept coming back, and then somehow it turned into an iguana, and I just let it like come to me, and it just wanted love, like it just wanted to be embraced. It just wanted, yeah, it just wanted to be near me, and so it's interesting, like it reminds me of, you know, our fears and how sometimes we think something's gonna bite us, but in actuality it really just wants love. It really just wants to be embraced. And the Eight of Wands is movement forward, and but then we got the Eight of movement forward from our self-imposed restrictions. Eights remind us of the connection of all things. Yeah, this is movement forward from our self-imposed limitations, our own struggles that we cause in our own mind, out of fear, out of doubt. Look, and there's that Four of Wands now. It's upright this time. Okay, so there is much to be celebrated coming in. The Four of Wands could even be like marriages, big life commitments, a new home, you know, celebrations. And this could be what you're bringing in. But if you're stuck in fear, if you're stuck in anxiety and in the past, then, you know, you're going to block it. Wow. Any more messages here? Yeah, this is an offer. This is an offer, and pay attention to your intuition when the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is also a happy surprise. Like, you are surrounded with community, with people that actually love you and support you. So make sure that you're giving them, look, you cannot make this shit up. This is the law of reciprocity. What you put out is what comes back. The give and exchange. So make sure you're giving freely and openly to those that do support you. And you know, right? Trust your intuition, you know. Okay. I'm gonna get, let's see, I wanna get one Oracle card to wrap this up. I'm gonna go with the Lyrian Oracle. I just love the crap out of this deck. And I'm actually going to read from the book because these, they're just so multidimensional, and they're a little galactic, a little cosmic. Might not be for everyone, but I really love the messages. So let's see for my water signs. Intensity. Perception shift to alchemize the situation. On the bottom, we've got the cosmic star family, support, socialize, community. That's more that 3 of Cups energy. You are supported, right? How many times does it have to come out for you to realize it? All right, number 36 breaks down to a 9. 9 is manifestation. It's also wrapping things up, right? Letting go of the old. And it says, we want to be clear with you in this transmission, as humanity may often put intergalactic species on pedestals through the various perceptions. But in addition to our high evolution, the white lions share many grounded characteristics and go through life just like yourself. In our collectives, one trait that we tend to share is that we have a great amount of intensity in our body language through the passionate fire within. Rather than judge this inner fire, we have learned over the course of time to see this fire as a great gift, which can be utilized to fuel all higher thought forms. In similar contexts, the human can use the elements of their unique personality makeup to fuel their life mission. Once the limitations of self-judgment have ceased for what is right and wrong, everything can be seen as a doorway to empowerment. In particular, we seek to address the concept of anger or certain emotions that can be suppressed in order to keep a socially accepted appearance. We say to you all that a true spiritual awakening is not striving to reach a certain standard of social acceptance, but fully accepting all aspects of who you are in your totality, including the fuel of anger that may arise. It says the Lyrian family is guiding you to connect with this inner fire and use it as a fuel to carry you forward in your earth walk. These inner fires could be anger, resentment, hurt, feelings of neglect, betrayal, or the opposite polarity in high passion, sexuality, and determination. Whatever fire aspect is arising in this moment, this card is guiding you to utilize this element and see it as an opportunity in disguise, for everything is fuel to the awakened soul. Alternatively, this card can indicate to drop any form of self-judgment and to start seeing all your actions and or past scars as sacred gifts of wisdom. Through this perceptual realignment, the human transforms guilt into wisdom and opens the door of inner alchemy by seeing life through all the various angles. So this is your perception shift to alchemize. Okay. Thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Let me know in the comments you were here. Let me know which sign you are, or if you're a cross-watcher. Yeah, hit that notification bell if you would like to be notified of upcoming videos. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day, rest of your week, I should say. Love you guys.